Hi there, Camilla. Let's take a look at your first set of essays. This one is about schools, so let's see what you wrote. When it comes to deciding the best way to teach children in schools, opinions are divergent. I believe that schools need to implement more engaging activities in their curriculum. This essay will use examples from studies conducted in the United States and France to support my belief. Okay, you did a decent job of rephrasing the task. And when I say decent, I mean, okay, we got the main message, but there was a little bit that, as far as I'm concerned, was missing here. Um, Opinions are divergent, but you didn't really tell us what those opinions are. So it would have made a little sense if you had explained or somehow rephrased the fact that um, there's controversy, basically, regarding whether they should just be places where academic knowledge is learned, or if they should be places where children need to pursue entertainment as well. So if you had added that element somewhere in there, that would have been more helpful. And then this sentence would have then made more sense, okay? Other than that, it's fine. Children also, I don't know why you have an also here, so let's get rid of it. Children are able to learn through engaging activities. This is because they are growing and have much energy to spend. For example, a recent study conducted by Harvard showed that 68% of the pupils that had the opportunity to learn from playful games and internet sources improved their knowledge faster than children who were taught in regular schools. Therefore, educational institutions should adequate their subjects. That's the wrong word here. I don't know what you mean, but it's not adequate. Their subjects to provide, maybe adjust, to provide a better learning experience for their pupils. Okay. When they had playful games, save energy. Okay, it does the job, so fine. Moreover, students can enhance their sense of teamwork and cooperation when they play sports. This is due to the fact that students in school age, well, that's awkward. We usually say school-aged students crave, not crave to interact, but crave interaction with each other. For instance, a famous educational institution in France reported a 75% increase in student scores when they were taught during using a great variety of sports. This percentage was found after conducting some interviews in one school in downtown Paris. Okay. Thus, besides learning with educational books, which, not that, which is necessary, they also need to broaden their horizons using creative methods. Okay, so here you're telling me that sports is important, and students did better when they engaged in sports. And then this sentence for me felt a little out of nowhere. It didn't really help you. And if you had left it out, I think the paragraph would have, it didn't really offer anything to this paragraph, so I would have just left it out, honestly. Um, Instead, I would have replaced it with something else. So you're saying here that there was a 75% increase when they were taught using a variety of sports. Maybe if you had said something about why sports were so helpful, and why they are entertaining, because that's what we're really talking about here. So maybe you could have said something like it was found that this opportunity to let off steam and engage with other classmates in a non-academic setting allowed children to then focus more on their academic work. That's the kind of sentence that would have really, really helped here, because you would have been showing essentially why entertainment is useful and why sports can help contribute to this. So something like that would have been a good thing to add. To conclude from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that pupils have to have a solid education, and this includes games and sports. In the future, I foresee that schools will have a balance in their curriculum in order to provide the best education. All right, that's fine. So for your first essay, it's really good. You've definitely used the template appropriately. No issues there. I think you did a good job. There were a couple of places that I think could have improved in terms of the way you developed your answer, and in terms of maybe some of the clarity. I think it was partially vocabulary that was the issue. Some wrong word choices, okay? So with that, I want to then go on to your next essay. This is the one about doing an enjoyable activity. So let's see what you said here. Deciding on what is the best activity for children to develop their abilities and creativity is not an easy task. I believe that a child who does pleasant activities has better results comparing to one that only reads. In the following paragraphs, I will explore the rationale from my viewpoint on the matter. Okay, fine. Firstly, children have the necessity to interact with each other in order, you don't need a comma here, in order to learn new skills, and playing sports is a way they could do that. This is because while children are playing, they will develop a sense of how to work as a team. For example, Stanford published a study in 2018 that showed that children who engaged in fun activities received better grades and were more talkative than the ones who were focused on reading. Okay. Fine. Let me just double check it. I'm reading it again. Therefore, parents need to acknowledge that playing sports will help their children's development. Fine, fine, fine. Secondly, pleasant tasks help them. Who is them? You've now changed paragraphs. You had a ton of nouns in that previous paragraph. And so it's really important here to make sure that this them is clear. Who are we referring to? So just use the word children. Secondly, pleasant tasks help children to be more creative. This is because they can experience different situations in their lives while they learn how to play a vast number of games. Take, for example, a research conducted by the Oxford University demonstrated that children who played at least 3 hours a week were at least 45% more creative than others who were who focused their time on reading. Consequently, this type of activity needs to be considered in the children's everyday life. All right, this is okay, but I don't really feel like it was adequately developed. So you told me, yeah, when they play games, they become more creative. Oh, yeah, okay, and now look at the statistic. It would have been a little helpful if you had told me maybe how games help contribute to this, why games contribute to this, okay, rather than just give me the statistic and then be out of there. So what could you have said? You could have said that games allow children to use strategy, to think of ways to win and ways to, be competitive and so forth and so forth. So just a little extra extension of this idea would have been really helpful, would have really just added to the development and the richness of this essay. So to conclude from the studies and examples given, I maintain that children need to engage in sports and fun activities rather than lock, without the ED, themselves in their bedrooms reading. Okay, that's fine. So it's a good set of essays. This was also nice. I like the fact that you understood that you had to talk about activities here, and then here you talked about creativity. That was good. A lot of people missed this whole thing about creativity, but you did not, so congratulations. I'm glad that you got it. So you're definitely on the right track. It's a very good start, and I'm very confident that you're going to do really, really well along the course, okay? So let's talk about what your next steps need to be. The first step is for you to correct these essays based on this video correction, okay? And then we want you to send those back to us. The next thing you want to do is create an error correction list where you write down all the mistakes that were pointed out to you, and next to each mistake, write down what the corrected version would be. This is a list that you're going to add to with each correction that you get back. Okay? And then the third thing, of course, that you need to do is write a new set of essays applying really everything you've been learning. And what we recommend is that you write within the next 24 hours or so. Okay, so you can keep all the new information fresh in your mind. So go ahead and get that started. We'll meet back here with your next set of essays. Want to wish you lots of good luck.